All right, welcome back, Star Citizens, future Star Citizens, Stargazers. We are now on Chapter 5. We've had a couple of 30Ks here this morning while we're trying to do the videos. Let me just kind of explain a 30K. A 30K is when you drop off of the network or the network server kicks you or the network server drops or whatever the reason is. And you lose your connection to the game. When you come back into the game, you're going to spawn back at the last spawn area that you spawned from, or last place that you landed. So we talked about spawning in video number 1. You do not spawn back into the game. So if I 30K right now, I will not spawn back here. I will spawn back into the habitat. And I will have to make my way back down here again. So every time there's a 30K, there's a delay of 5-10 minutes while I have to make my way back here to start the video up again. Now, I'm just making videos. If I was running cargo and I had just purchased maybe a full load on a Caterpillar and I would have invested, I don't know, 500,000 UEC and I 30K'd, there's a good possibility, well, not a good possibility, it will happen. If I was flying and back to try and get to some place to drop off that $500,000 worth of cargo and there was a 30K, I would spawn back in the habitat. My ship would be gone. I would lose the inventory, so that would cost me not only the time that I invested to make that cargo run, but I would also lose the 500,000 UEC that I invested in that cargo. So you will see people just scream and holler about these 30Ks in your global chat constantly because it is very annoying. And there's been a lot less 30Ks. I must admit it was pretty bad there for a while. But there are certain days of the week that you just know you're probably going to have problems. Weekends, heavy nights where there's a lot of people playing. The game seems to cause the 30K more often. But just understand it's part of the alpha. They are working to fix the 30K issues. But it's there, and it's something we have to deal with. All right, so let's get going in chapter number 5. We're going to take a trip over to the spaceport. I'm going to speed up the video when we're actually doing the travel. But since we are at TMA Sons, I could make my way back upstairs and go to the Metro Center and go from Metro Center directly to the TMA Spaceport. But since we're over here in Levston, I'm going to use the Levston train stop. And we're going to go on the Central Line, and we're going to be going to the Central Business District. And I'll stop there and talk about that briefly. Okay, here we are at the Central Business District. So this is where you come when you want to sell your cargo. So if you're doing cargo runs and you happen to have a shipload of cargo and you're near Hurston, you may be coming here to Lorville, to the Central Business District. Zoom in there. So inside of this large building is the trading consoles that you would use to sell your goods. There's also, I believe, some contracts that start over here in the Central Business District. So this happens to be just for you know, Hurston, the planet Hurston. The different planets will have different types of trading centers that you will have to make your way to. Oh, excuse me. It looks like they're practicing shining lights on people. All right. So you can see here there's a sign that says Central Line to Levston Station is this way. And over on this side, it says the Commerce Line to TMA Spaceport over here. That's where we're going to go. There's a train in the station. We're going to try and run over here as fast as we can before the doors close. All right, we made it, and we'll pick back up once we get to TISA. All right. We've made our way to TISA Spaceport Station on the Lorville Transit System. All right, there's a sign straight ahead that says exit to the right. Let's go ahead and exit to the right. All right, so here we are at a junction. That would take us to Metro Center. And here's an overview of the Hurston Rapid Transit System. So we started when we woke up in our habitat. We were at Metro Center. That's where the habitat is located. We walked over to Levston Station and did some shopping. Then we took the train to Central Station, which is Central Business District. And then we grabbed this train on the Commerce Line to TISA Spaceport. We have not taken either of the perimeter lines. And the perimeter line would take you to the gates. And at the gates, you can actually go out onto the planet's surface. You can use a land vehicle if you have any, or if you've rented any land vehicles. You could use the gates to be able to call up that land vehicle and then go out and explore the surface of the planet. We will do that in the future, but for right now, we're trying to make our way to the spaceport so we can get started on calling up a ship and talk about some of the things that are available at the spaceport. All right, on our way to the spaceport, we're just kind of looking around here, and we're going to make one stop. All right, we're looking around, kind of seeing what's available to us. And I'm not seeing much available. There should be some terminals here. And maybe I walked right by them. There they are. All right, so these are some terminals that you can interact with. This is your fines and citations payment system. So as you're doing things in the verse, if you do anything illegal, you may get a fine, and you could pay for your fine here. So we do F to use. We click on login as user. We'll access the system. So this is a legal way to pay off fines. There's also illegal ways to pay off fines and get rid of any kind of crime stats that you have. Currently, I do not have any fines that I'm responsible for, and this is just a way for me to find out if I have any fines levied against me. All right, so let's continue back over here to the spaceport. And there's another player, and you can see they have on a suit with a rucksack. All right. So here are our vehicle retrieval consoles. So once you get to any spaceport or any area where you store your ships or landing area, we'll have these vehicle retrieval consoles. All right. So to use a vehicle retrieval console, we're just going to hold down F. We're going to hit the use, and we're going to see our fleet of vehicles that we have available to us. So I just want to go back a little bit. In one of the previous videos, we were trying to look at our ships and look at the loadouts on our ships, and we were doing the Moby glass and we were on our vehicles, and the one vehicle had a red lock on it, and that was the Drake Caterpillar. And the Drake Caterpillar, while the rest of my ships say retrieve, this one says claim. Okay, so that means this ship is not here, it's not stored. So if we had like a 30K, then we would have to claim our ship, because our ship would be either out in space or somewhere else. When that 30K happened, it would not automatically get stored. If we leave a ship somewhere, or if a ship blows up, it's going to come into this kind of a status. Right now, this one is telling me it's at HDMS Lathan. We timed out there. We're going to go back in. So we have to put in a claim on that ship. Okay, so we're going to hit claim. And you're going to see that I have to wait 37 minutes and 30 seconds for this ship. Okay, and I can file a claim. All right, and now I've got to wait that delivery time. Now, in 7 minutes and 29 seconds, I would be able to expedite it. Oh, I could expedite now, but I'd still have to wait 7 minutes and 23 seconds, and I would have to pay 1,405 AUEC to expedite that. And again, it would still be 7 minutes. So we're going to go wander around and look. We're probably not going to fly the Drake Caterpillar. That's a pretty big ship, and that's not a good ship to start off in. But just understand that, like, anytime you have a 30K, it's going to cost you not only time and money to get back to the spaceport, you're also going to have to probably claim your ship, wait on it, or pay a fee. The wait time is different depending on the ship that is in question. I think the Caterpillar is probably one of the longest wait times, with the 30-some minutes. That's a little bit rough. All right, so let's just wander around here real quick. So we are at the TMA Spaceport, and there's New Deal, which is a place where you can purchase ships.
Welcome to New Deal Shipyard, the finest purveyor of
All right, so this is the New Deal location, and just so you know, I'm not going to go out here, but there are ships out there, and any ship that you see, you can board and kind of explore and go click on, get a close-up look at it. So there's like 3 or 4 ships out here. Now, some spaceports will have a ship showroom like this. Not all do. You'll just have to find out where they are. And they have different ships for you to look at the different ports. The other thing you can do is you can come in here into the actual indoor showroom. Okay, you will see a couple of ships in here also. And there is a kiosk here which you can use to purchase ships. All right, and again, there's limited ships available in each one of the kiosks, and depending on where you are, that kind of controls what ships are available. So here it's like a lot of work ships and some fighters, and I think if you go to like New Babbage on Microtech, there's more cruisers and exploration ships. But you can come in here and make purchasing of ships. Okay, so this is where you could go to look up all the stats and find all the information. Other than purchasing ships, you also have the option to rent ships. So we're going to go take a look at a rental. And again, it works the same way as purchasing. Depending on where you're at, that would kind of controls what ships are available for you to rent. So here we are at the Vantage Rentals, and we could use this kiosk here and rent a ship. A good option if you're new to the verse and you're trying to get started, and you bought a starter pack, and in your starter pack you got a fighter, and you don't really have any way to carry cargo or run any cargo missions. If you're in a fighter, then you can always rent a cargo ship. You can also rent a mining ship. So we'll just look at it real quick, depending on what your starter ship was. So you could rent the Missile Freelancer here, for example, to run some cargo. Okay, it doesn't tell you here what cargo capacity is on this vehicle. but you can look that up on the web, and I'll probably put a link down at the bottom that'll allow you to go look at the different ships and what their cargo capability are. But that's a good cargo ship to rent if you want to run some cargo missions. Not real expensive, and you should be able to make that money back relatively quickly. If you get some personal missions, I think some of those personal missions pay $15,000 per crate, and if you do 3 crates, you've already covered the cost of this ship. Okay, same with the Missile Prospector. This is a light mining ship. Okay, and again, you could rent this ship for $41,220, and that's for a 24-hour period, and you can probably make that amount of money back maybe in one mining run if you're lucky, but you're probably going to average somewhere between 20 and 30 UEC per mining run, depending on what kind of a load you pick up and what kind of items you mine. But you can definitely pay for this in a day, okay, and make some profit on it. So that's a good way to kind of build up some bank. All right, you can also rent racers and land vehicles here. So, for example, the Drake Dragonfly is a land-based vehicle, and I don't see a picture of it right now, but you can also rent that if you don't have any kind of a land vehicle and you wanted to do some you wanted to go to one of the gates here in Hurston and kind of get out on the planet and do some exploring. All right, so Vantage Rentals is a place to go, and again, most spaceports will have some kind of a rental area. At least I know Hurston does. I think Area 18 does, ArcCorp, and Microtech, the city of New Babbage. All right, so let's go back here. That's kind of a tour of the TSA Spaceport and how we got here and navigating, and I think that's where I'm going to end this video. And we will pick it up on the next one, and we'll get our ship out and go over flying, which is what everybody's kind of been wanting to do probably from the beginning. But until then, till next time, bye-bye.